Now that we understand what exponents mean for every whole number, we'd like to be able to understand what it means to write a negative integer exponent. So if I were to write 4 to the negative third power, for example, what would that mean? Well, let's look at it this way. Right? Earlier, we looked at the pattern of exponents going from smaller to larger. And we wrote out 4 to the 0 is 1. 4 to the 1 is just one copy of 4. That's 4. 4 squared, that's 4 times 4 is 16. 4 to the third, that's 16 times 4 is 64. You can write that out or use a calculator if you'd prefer. When we were going this way, we saw that we multiplied by 4 each time. But now we'd like to go the other way, into the negative powers. Well, if going upward multiplies by 4, going downward, we must divide by 4. Or to put it another way, let's think of this as multiplying by 1/4. Dividing by 4, oh yeah, that is the same as multiplying by 1/4. Right, so 4 times 1/4 is 1, times 1/4 again, that's going to be 1/4. Times 1/4 again, right, 1/4 times 1/4 over 1 is 1 over 4 times 4, that's 1/16. Times another 1/4, that's, well, 1/16 times 1/4, that's 1 over 16 times 4, so that's 1/64. Right, notice what we see here. This is 1 over 4 to the third. This is 1 over 4 squared. This is 1 over 4 to the first. Oh. So here's how we understand this. 4 to the negative some power is 1 over 4 to that power. That makes a certain amount of sense, right? When I repeatedly multiply by 4, I get powers of 4. When I repeatedly divide by 4, that's like taking powers of 1/4, which is like taking 1 over powers of 4. Just really quickly, I want to see what happens when I start with a fraction. So let's say I start with 2/3. To the 0th power, that's still 1. To the first power, that's just 2/3. Squared, well, that'll be 2/3 times 2/3. Right, 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. So that'll be 4/9. And let's do the third power as well. We'll multiply by another 2/3. So 4/9 times another 2/3. That's 8/27. Now, when we went this way, we multiplied by 2/3, which means to go this way, we want to divide by 2/3, which is the same as multiplying by 3/2. So here we multiplied by 3/2. Here we multiplied by 3/2. So if I want 2/3 to the negative 1, right, I'm going to multiply by 3/2 again. That'll just be 3/2. 2/3 to the negative 2. That's multiply by 3/2 again. 3/2 times 3/2 is 9/4. And one more time. 2/3 to the negative 3. That'll be 9/4 times 3/2 will be 27/8. Right? So more generally, if I have a fraction to a negative power, we see that that means the reciprocal of that fraction to the positive power. Okay, so that's going to be pretty interesting. We now know how to compute negative integer exponents, and later on when we start to think about how exponents are structured, this is going to give us some cool stuff about the reciprocal.